We're going to get into the elite universities. They're doing dumb things again.
It's been a little too long since we've just beat up on them. Because remember, college is a scam. Charlie warned us.
There was that book. It's up here somewhere.
The college scam.
It's up there. Trust me.
Yeah, it's right under Right Wing Revolution there.
Yeah,
yes.
there it is.
All right, excellent.
All right. So Harvard. Blake, do you want to take this away, or you want me to?
I want to do the Berkeley one.
Okay,
you do the Harvard one.
All
and
right.
I'll do the
So
Berkeley
here's what's crazy. Let's go ahead and throw up this image here. This is 278. This is a History 123 class at Harvard. The course, and this is directly from the course description online, this course trains and supports teams of undergraduates to contribute research and writing for asylum applicants represented by attorneys at Mabel Center for Immigration Justice. This course operates on 4 parallel tracks, blah, 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 blah. So
this is a history department
This is a history class at one of the nation's supposed elite higher education institutions, training young, susceptible, vulnerable college undergrads on how to write asylum cases for illegal immigrants.
It really is. It's a relief to have this in a sense, because there is so much of college that is just left-wing politics with some dress-up around it. And it's nice for it to be so explicit that you just can't really ever live it down. Like, you took a history department class. At least if it was sociology, you'd say, well, sociology is implied left-wing politics anyway. But there's not even, as far as I can tell, a plausible history connection to that. It's just the guy decided, I am converting my Harvard class that you're paying $20,000 to take or whatever, just that course, of course, and we're converting it into a left-wing political op.
Well, it's an activist organization. Yeah. So let's just one clip on Charlie raging against Harvard, 262.
Harvard University has a $50 billion endowment. They have a tax-exempt status. They get money for research grants. Why is it, as a country which is $35 trillion in debt, we continue to finance universities that hate us? And what good actually is Harvard University going to keep on doing with our taxpayer funding? The garbage and the nonsense that is being spewed out of Harvard, out of Princeton, out of Yale, out of Brown University, out of Cornell is noticeable, and it's remarkable. It's really worth asking, has Harvard just become a Democrat think tank? And if they are, why are they taxpayer-funded entity?
Charlie Kirk believed courage and conviction still matter. He wanted every Christian to stand firm in their faith, no matter the cost. That's why the Voice of the Martyrs is offering you a free copy of Extreme Devotion. Inside are true stories of Christians in places like China, Iran, and Nigeria who refused to deny Jesus Christ, even in the face of imprisonment or death. Charlie's passion was to see that kind of faith in all of us. Get your free copy today at vom.org/Charlie. That's vom.org/Charlie. I noticed he didn't mention Dartmouth, your alma mater.
Yeah, you would have some kindness there. But no, and it's
go to Berkeley.
We want to flag that. I want to hit Berkeley, but I also am going to double back to Harvard, so make sure we do that. But there's a lot of classes like this. UC Berkeley is another distinguished school of higher learning, and this one's a public university too, so we should note that. And this is a story that happened in late January, but it's worth highlighting. This is a headline on them.us, which is a great website name, I must say. Berkeley students make 300,000 Wikipedia edits to preserve queer history against Trump. And this is apparently a long ongoing thing, but a professor just drafted her students to write sections on Wikipedia that include queer theory, critical race theory.
But I have to ask this question because I've seen it repeated multiple times, right? You've got the Olympian that's talking about, it's really hard for the LGBTQ community now that Trump's in office. Why? Why is it hard? I want one of you, write in, freedom@charliekirk.com. Please send this to your liberal friends. Explain to me like I'm 5. What has Trump done to the queer community? What? Nothing. President Trump kind of supports queer community. He's for real.
He clearly is not that exercised about it.
He is not that exercised about it. He is a Manhattan cosmopolitan elite himself. He doesn't care that you're gay. Stop acting like you're being persecuted, like Christians are being persecuted, actually. This is the most obscene thing to me ever. What are they preserving in the era of Trump? What queer Wikipedia articles need to be preserved because President Trump is coming after them.
Yeah,
It's a perceived victimhood garbage narrative that I completely and utterly reject.
Professor Maria Rodriguez, as AOC might pronounce it, she's had her students create 300,000 edits, over 3,000 citations, and they've garnered over 96 million views. And I think if you've been to Wikipedia in recent history, you actually can kind of tell. Like, I've talked to a lot of people, and they can tell. It's like Google search. It's clearly gotten worse over the past few years.
I'm a Grokkapedia
You can
guy
read Grokkapedia. It's actually quite good. AIs have gotten good at those summary type topics.
Of course.
But I want to double back to Harvard on this specific point, because another thing I saw today, we have to just be aware. Colleges are not, we've talked about whether there's a vibe shift against woke, and there's certain initial stuff. The Trump administration bullied Harvard and Columbia and a few of these other schools on a few things, but they're clearly not on our side at all. A lot of them are hoping they can wait it out. And there's been a lot of radicalization even over the past few months where they're getting whipped up again, just like they did in 2017, 2018, because of ICE activities. And we have to realize this is, frankly, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to hold some of these universities to account. So, for example, Harvard is subject to the Supreme Court's ruling in Students for Fair Admission versus Harvard, which said, you can't racially discriminate against Asians and white people any more than you can discriminate against other races. Well, since then, we have the numbers on Harvard's demographics, and the evidence suggests basically what they did is they stopped discriminating against Asians, but they still discriminate against whites. So if Harvard is going to be creating entire classes where your sole purpose is to undermine the nation's laws by feeding more illegal immigrants into this country and preventing their deportation, how about we take the DOJ, and if we need to, hire more lawyers there. We should 100% do that. And go look at Harvard and say, yeah, Harvard, you seem to still be discriminating against people. So, your money is going to be subject to some retention here until we get this resolved.
Yeah, well, and I think we should tax the endowments. If you have over, let's say,
but we don't need to pass anything to investigate them or to prosecute
of course.
them.
But if you have over like $10 billion in an endowment, you should start taxing it. You've got enough, right? Tax the rich. Isn't that what you left-wingers like to say?